after I tighten the threads down, or push the threads down. Just gives it a better look. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in with the camera without ruining everything too much. Let's see. So you can kind of see it. I don't know how well you can see it, but there should be little O's. You kind of see the pattern starting to form. Yeah, so they're just, they look like little O's. Little donut things. So yeah, so this pattern is called the Oseberg, the Oseberg pattern. Because it was found with on the Oseberg burial ship that was found in the early 20th century in a farmer's field in Norway. So the Oseberg ship, Oseberg, it was a funerary boat for 2 women. And there were no texts on board, so we don't know who they were. But one of them, but they were buried with their looms. And this was one of the patterns that they had found on the loom, that was strung up on the loom. So they must have been working on the project when they died, and it was just buried with them. But yeah, so it's a nice historical pattern. Yeah, so there's a little fun thing about that. if I can zip back a little bit. Is the other end twisting up? Yes. Yes, because as I'm twisting the cards, they're all being twisted. And it is getting kind of tight. Thanks for that, Gregor Bill. But that's why I have these fishing swivels. I don't know if you can see those on camera. But I can just come through and twist the swivel and my thread will become untwisted. So, little bit of a modern twist on his traditional art. But yeah, it's really helpful. So now that one's all untwisted, and I just have to do that with each of the threads. But yeah, thanks for that reminder. But yeah, it was getting about time to untwist them. Usually about, with it being on such a small loom, I can go a little further. Usually it's about 10 or 12 where it gets too twisted. I think I've gone quite a bit. But yeah, so the fishing swivels definitely help to keep tension when I first thread them, but then they're really handy for just untwisting it. On an Inca loom, I would just reverse. Yeah, so not everybody does it this way. Not everybody uses fishing swivels. I think it was just kind of a way, honestly, to keep tension on this tiny loom. But it just has an added perk. An added perk of untwisting the knots. The woman that I learned this from, Lady Eloise. Anyways, she's really fun to watch on YouTube. She has a large Inca loom, and so she just does 10 twists forward, and then 10 twists backwards, and then 20 twists backwards. Yeah, so she starts with 10 forward, and then she'll untwist it, and then retwist it the other way. But that kind of puts like a Z shape in the pattern. And I didn't really like that. And so I learned that I could just untwist the thread with the fishing swivels and avoid that altogether. But yeah, it's super handy. So there you go. So I have all my threads untwisted now, and I can just keep going on my pattern. The video I watched was reenactors. They had one end pinned to their belt and the other end pinned to their shoe. Yes. So that is actually the most traditional way of tablet weaving, is the backstrap method. Yeah, it was probably a post or something, to keep the tension. But that is the most traditional way of doing it. That's how the Vikings would have done it, is strap around their belt and then to a post. I like this because I can drop it when I need to. I don't have to completely untie myself and get out when the kids are screaming and stuff. But yeah, so that's what that is. That's the backstrap method. A Renfest somewhere. Yeah, that's awesome. I know we were looking at doing a Renaissance fair this year, but I mean, this is our first year really doing anything, and we were kind of underprepared and missed some deadlines. Because we were going to do some tablet weaving, and also we thought about doing some marbling, which we need to do on stream. I might have to convince Steven. We might just have to mask in here so that we can do it on stream. Because marbling paper is really fun. And we have a Harry Potter set that we are finishing, and they need all their end pages done. So we have a lot of marbling to do. So if we could figure out how to do that on stream, I think that would be so fun. yeah, some of these tablet weaving patterns can be really difficult. I am almost to the point of venturing into more difficult weaves. That's where, yeah. So right now, this is probably, if you want to start tablet weaving, this is probably the easiest weave to do, because all the cards turn in the same direction for the whole of the pattern. But all the other ones I've seen, you have like certain cards turning forward, certain cards turning backwards, all in like the same weft. So that's what this one is. The one I'm running back and forth is called a weft, if you're not familiar with weaving. But yeah, so this is just one of the simple designs. Thought I'd start simple on my first time tablet weaving on stream. I'd like to do a couple practice ones with the new pattern before I stream it. Kind of get some kinks out.